What's up, guys? 370Gaming here. And before the podcast starts, I want to let you know that you guys can follow ChaddTalks on SoundCloud, link in the description below, to follow the Top Rope podcast. This will not be a regular occurrence on my channel. I was a guest on episode 2, so if you want to follow the Top Rope podcast in the future, hit up ChaddTalks on SoundCloud. And without further ado, here's episode 2 of the Top Rope podcast.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 2. I'm surprised I even got 2 episodes of Top Rope Podcast. We got a very, very, very special guest today. Huge YouTube star. You think Jenna Marbles, you think that damn Daniel guy. Well, get ready, because we have 370 Gaming here, and he is going to grace us with his YouTube knowledge. We're going to talk some wrestling, and then he's got a special message for Curb Stomp. How you doing, 370?
I'm great, man. I don't know about anybody else, but when I think Jenna Marbles, I think PewDiePie, I think 370 Gaming.
Exactly, they go hand in hand. Smosh Games, 370 Gaming. Yeah, so basically, it was really funny how this started. I was actually, for those of you who don't know who 370 Gaming is, he does TEW games, which is basically you're a fantasy booking for a wrestling company, and you can do WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor. You could start your own company, and it's really fun. And being the avid pro wrestling fan I am, and the avid video game fan I am, I started watching his channel, and then I was one of those people who would always send him comments suggesting things, and one day he took my idea, and then we've been best friends ever since.
That's right.
370, why don't you talk about your channel a little bit and tell the people who don't really know who you are, give a little insight on your channel.
Well, quite frankly, I'm surprised anybody watches any of my material, so I do appreciate that.
That's how I feel about my podcast too.
We'll make it one day, kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, like you said, I mostly do TEW content. I'm trying to break away a little bit from TEW because as much as I love the game and as much as I love wrestling, I did start the YouTube channel for gaming in general. I like to play, things like Call of Duty, a lot of puzzly type games, and a lot of variety I'd like to think I have. But yeah, so I'm going to start branching away from it. TEW will always be the main source, the main gimmick, of course, but yeah, I like to think of myself now as an all-around gaming channel.
Yeah, and that's cool because, it's just like, for ChaddTalks Podcast, ChaddTalks Podcast is a brand, Top Rope is just an just a show that I do, eventually I want to branch off and I want to do podcasts on, still obviously Top Rope, but I want to do sports, I want like basketball and football, I want to critique movies, games, I'm a huge Survivor fan, so I'm thinking about doing one on those, so it's good to branch out, and it gives you a new audience too, because like, somebody who's flipping through YouTube sees 370 Gaming who isn't a wrestling fan isn't going to watch, but you throw in a Call of Duty guy, he'll watch.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of TEW guys do exclusively TEW. The ceiling seems to be about 1K to 1,200 subs, and I feel like with more games, different variety, I could reach an even broader audience.
Yeah, and plus doing the same thing would just get so boring. I can play TEW for hours, but if I just had to do that, because taking a YouTube channel, I mean that takes a lot of effort. If you have to update videos every single multiple times a week, that could really limit to what you can do. And I know if I had to play a video one video game every single day, basically every day, and I would start to hate it.
Absolutely, yeah. There would be many days where, back in the original Local to Global series, I just wasn't feeling it, man. I was just like, I'd rather do something else, quite frankly, with my time, but it was the most, people wanted it the most, so I continued to do it, but, yeah, it does, you get burned out after a while.
For sure, man. I first of all, for the record, I loved your Local to Global. When you went bankrupt, I about died inside. I was worried we weren't gonna ever see Mudstain, man.
I know. They had just been on the come up.
Yeah, I mean, whoever suggested that, what a genius.
Yeah, really. He needs a raise.
Yeah, get this guy a raise, While we're on the topic of video games, did you see who got put on the cover for the new WWE 2K17 game?
I did see. I think Bill Goldberg being on the game, I think that's something. He was in the game about 2 or 3 years ago, wasn't he?
I think so.
I believe so. He was in. It was like it was a big thing. Like him. It was the first game with him and Brock Lesnar since Here Comes the Pain.
Yeah, I know Brock Lesnar was in one a few years ago before he officially came back, and Bill Goldberg probably was too. He
was in as a legend. It was some WCW gimmick.
I remember that. Yep. Okay.
But now he's the cover boy. You know, he's the big. That's what the focus is on Goldberg this year.
Which is crazy, because I never thought Bill Goldberg would ever come back or do anything with WWE.
No. I was just going to say, the pattern with the guys that get the focus on the video game, they usually end up signing shortly thereafter.
That's what I was just going to say that, that's usually where it leads to, and I'm okay with Goldberg coming back to the WWE, but I'm scared because my friend showed me something in the trailer. When I don't know if you've seen it, but when he gets in the police car, in the rear view mirror, there's a sign that said Suplex City.
Yeah,
and
that was crazy.
For the life of me, please don't redo Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar. God, please don't.
Here's the thing, with Goldberg and Lesnar 1, they were both out of the company, they were both fed up, they both just wanted to not even be in the building, they wanted to collect their paycheck and leave. I feel like they're both, they still obviously want to collect their paycheck and leave, but I don't think the hatred and the just visceral dislike of everything around the company would be present in the second match. So I feel like they'd do a better match this time around.
I don't know, because Goldberg's like late 40s now? And I just don't know if he's going to be able to keep up with Lesnar's style. Because, Lesnar, suplex you, F5 you. He takes a very brutal matches, and I just don't know if Goldberg's going to be able... The old man Bill is going to be able to keep up. I hope I'm wrong.
Old man Bill.
But I don't know if old Bill Golden Girl is going to be able to... I like Goldberg, by the way. I just like to make puns about people's age.
I was going to say, don't say something you'll regret.
Yeah, but Goldberg punches down my door and we're starting the streak off early.
But in terms of the match, though, I think, it doesn't have to be... even, I was going to say technical masterclass, obviously it wouldn't be that, but it doesn't have to be Brock Lesnar tossing him around either. He doesn't have to take every single flying Dean Ambrose bump that, was unnecessary. It could just be a slugfest, man. They're tossing each other in the barricade, they're hitting each other with steel steps, they're, brawling up the ramp, brawling in the crowd, it can just be a big fucking slugfest, man.
And that's how I think if they're gonna book it, they should book it. Like I agree, it should be Goldberg coming in just slugging with Brock.
Straight up.
Yeah, because if you do a typical Brock Lesnar match, I don't think it's gonna be successful. But I would like to see Goldberg mix it up with other guys too, like make him go John Cena. That's a match I never thought I'd see.
That's for sure.
Goldberg, John Cena would be cool. I could see Goldberg, Roman being a thing.
Yep. Oh God, spear versus spear.
Spear versus spear. The guy versus the cover guy.
They can have a feud over who gets called the guy.
Yeah. Who else would you like to see Goldberg mix it up with? Maybe Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens could be good. I think Kevin would get fed up with his shit. I don't think he'd want to fight him. I think Rollins could jump around and do a couple good things for Goldberg. I'm trying to think off my head. I don't want to see Triple H and Goldberg.
No, absolutely not. I don't want to see Triple H with almost anybody.
Oh my God.
Nothing against Triple H. I just don't want to see him.
Everything against Triple H.
All right, fair enough. It's okay. I don't like Joe Rogan, so.
Hey, we all got our opinions here.
Exactly.
But I think if you could get somebody, like I said, like Rollins, that could sell a Goldberg beatdown pretty well, I think you can make a decent match out of it.
I think Goldberg Cesaro would be pretty cool, just because Cesaro can make anyone look great. So.
For sure. And I think Cesaro could also, he could maybe throw Goldberg up for a Swiss uppercut.
Oh my God, that'd be cool. That'd be sweet. And I think a Cesaro facing Goldberg would give him that name recognition that could really help put him over too.
Absolutely. When Cesaro was paired up with Heyman and everybody was like, oh my God, dude, we're going to see Cesaro and Lesnar. We're going to see the big match. Cesaro's finally going to get his breakout. Goldberg could certainly just as easily be Cesaro's breakout moment.
Exactly. As much as I would love to see him face The Miz again.
Oh my God, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, Miz will put him over.
Yeah, absolutely.
Goldberg, I just feel like it's hard because, with Goldberg, you're not going to be able to put him with very many smaller, fast-paced guys. Exactly. It's just not his style. Goldberg, I really think Goldberg will get winded. You need a guy who's going to be bigger and can just slug it out. And I don't know if you'd agree, but I'd almost be okay with seeing Goldberg Undertaker.
Goldberg Undertaker, not at this junction, not at this stage of Undertaker's career.
You don't think so?
He can turn it on, but
I don't think it's going to be a ring masterpiece, but I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think it'd be the similar thing to Goldberg or with Brock. I think it would be slugfests, whips into steel ring posts. I'm thinking weapons, because nowadays if you're going to do an Undertaker match, you have to either put him in a cell so he doesn't have to run around much, and you're going to have to give him something that he can brawl, because you're not going to get a wrestling clinic from, you know what I mean? You're not going to get a grappling clinic from Undertaker anymore. So you got to give him, the weapons and make it a brawl. And I feel like the same thing with booking Goldberg is what you would need to do.
Absolutely. The Shane McMahon Undertaker match kind of soured me on the Undertaker, because they were both just completely gassed halfway through that match. And that was a long match, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I think in my head, I'm now soured on the idea of Undertaker even doing a brawling match with not a Rollins-esque opponent that could really try to pull something off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, a guy like Rollins or a Cesaro or a KO, a guy who can carry it. I agree with that. And plus Goldberg hasn't wrestled in how many years? We have no idea what Goldberg's gonna even be able to do.
Oh yeah.
He might. Who knows? Maybe he'll do a sunset flip off the top rope. Who knows?
Hey, who knows?
I mean, I don't think so, but you never know.
He could hit the Phoenix Splash on Rollins.
While you were on the topic of WWE 2K17, what new features do you think you want to see in the game?
Oh boy, new features in the game. I want to see a better My Career mode.
Oh my, yes. I hate the My Career modes.
It's the worst. And I understand what they're going for. I can clearly see the direction they're heading, but it is not working.
I mean, I'd even be okay with there being a My Career, having be an actual story mode. I'd be okay with that too. I just don't like where this one currently is.
Here's the thing, can we get any storylines in the video game? Because playing through My Career is an abysmal, awful experience. I don't recommend it at all, even if you're like, oh, I never played, a WWE game before. Don't play My Career. It is the worst. It's, when you think of grinding, you think of games like World of Warcraft, things where you have to grind level by level by level.
The old school Pokemon games for the Game Boy.
For sure.
Yeah.
This is an abysmal grind. It is the worst. You gain nothing, and even when you reach up, let's say you start in NXT, you get the NXT title, it's nothing. You get attacked by Kevin Owens, and then a new feud starts, and it's pointless.
Yeah.
And I just wish anything, whatever it is, I don't care if it's GM mode, career mode, I don't care what it is, can it just have a story, please?
Yeah, and then, or you win the WWE Championship, and then, now next week you're feuding with Fandango. It's just, what is this? Debauchery.
In the last year's game, I won the title and immediately retired at WrestleMania.
Yeah, I hated that. I spent 8 goddamn years in My Career mode trying to win this belt, and I can't even defend it.
And they talk about your character. Oh man, he did everything in this business. I just won the title. What are you talking about?
I was feuding with Dolph Ziggler for 8 years and then finally won the title. Now I'm fighting Baron Blade at WrestleMania. Who the fuck is Baron Blade?
Baron Blade. Only 2010s kids will get that one. Oh man.
Oh man, dude. I would love to see a GM mode, especially now that they're doing the brand split.
For sure.
But I feel like if they're gonna do a GM mode, then they're gonna cut Universe mode, because when you think about it, it's kind of the same thing.
Well, I totally see what you're getting at there. I don't think they would see it that way. I think Universe mode, is their pet project. This is what they came up with. We got Universe mode. I'm really stoked. I think any other mode is just kind of accessory to that, in their opinion.
I agree with that.
So I don't think they would really freak out about, we're going to have GM mode that's going to clash with Universe in any way.
And if they're gonna make, if universe mode is their crown jewel, which I also believe it is, they need to bring back create a story mode.
Absolutely.
Because create a story mode with universe mode is what made universe mode so awesome.
That's right.
And now without that, I just feel like I haven't been able to get into the last couple of universe modes because they didn't have the story mode or create a story. I remember when they had that, I used to play universe mode all the time, and I'd have it be like 20 years in the future. You know, I was making created characters because I was like, John Cena's not going to be wrestling in 20 years. Nope, sorry, John. But and now in this one, I'll play like 5 months of it, and then I'll be like, okay, well, I'm kind of over this now.
I can't even make it that far. I remember it was the last game to have create a story was, I think, like 2K14.
Yeah, something like that, 14.
And I mean, because of the stuff available, I mean, I played WWE 12 for years.
Oh yeah, all the older ones from like 9 to like 12. I play those all the time.
Absolutely, and the create a story, the story creation where you just do any scene you want, make up any story you want. That was what people wanted, and they just, for some reason, they don't get that now. I don't know why.
They took it out so they could put in one of the 100, Attitude Era story modes, which I also despise. Like,
yeah,
Road to WrestleMania, Road to the Attitude Era, like, no.
That's the whole idea. That's the whole mindset behind current WWE, and this goes for booking, and this goes for selling of merchandise like video games. It's too much focused on the past, and that's what they're using to sell, because the present, I guess, isn't good enough.
Oh yeah, I despise that. Like, you get those fans that are always like, oh, why are they bringing back The Rock to fight John Cena? I would much rather have seen John Cena fight CM Punk at Mania. I hate that they rely on the past. Because, like, the Attitude Era, don't get me wrong, the best era in wrestling ever. It's got Stone Cold, The Rock, all these characters. Honor the past a different way. Move in for the present. Let guys like Sami Zayn, let guys like Cesaro have their moment. Like, bring them in.
Exactly.
If you're gonna do a story mode where you play as the Attitude Era, that's fine. They could do it with the Stone Cold one they had last year, but don't just keep rehashing it and putting a different legend on the cover and think this is what the fans want to see, because it's not. I want to see a cover with like Dean Ambrose. Put a cover of Finn Balor on it. Make NXT a bigger part of the game. Connect with the people that are watching currently and the fan base you currently have, and don't focus so much on the Attitude Era and the people that, quite honestly, probably won't buy the game.
Exactly. And I mean, listen, we're not saying take legends out of the game.
Oh, absolutely not.
We don't want the Attitude Era. We're not saying that. We're saying, can you put Seth Rollins on the cover and announce Goldberg as the pre-order bonus?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have to put Goldberg on the cover to sell the game. I'm sure Goldberg will bring in a few extra buys, but I mean, really, what's the scope of a fan buying a wrestling video game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is the guy, shopping at Walmart, oh, I see Goldberg on the cover, I'm going to buy this for the console I don't even have. You know what I mean?
Or even to elaborate more on that, like, I probably most of the people buying a wrestling video game probably weren't around or weren't that in tune with wrestling when Goldberg was around. I know lots of people who would buy 2K, WWE 17, sorry, if a guy like Seth was on it, or a guy like Dean. Fuck, even put Brock Lesnar on it. But I know so many people who are going to be like, who's this old guy? And that's just because there are so many, like, new fans that don't know who they are. And with the network and stuff, that makes it a little easier, but still, like...
That's true. People who were casually into wrestling during the Goldberg days, I don't think they're playing video games very much nowadays.
Yeah, exactly. And even casual wrestling fans that buy the games, because those exist. My brother was one of those people. He loves the games. I don't think he could name 10 guys in wrestling. He has no idea who Goldberg is, and he's not going to buy the game because of Bill Goldberg. So, like, but if you put John Cena on the cover, he'd be able to tell you that's a wrestling game, and I like the wrestling games. I'm going to buy it. As far as other features I'd like to see, I would love to see more match types.
Yes. Oh my God.
I want a lumberjack match. I've wanted it for every game that's came out. I want a lumberjack match. I want a Royal Rumble match where I don't get 6 guys and that's it. I know it's hard to do. I mean, I assume. Otherwise I'd do it. But I want 12 guys in a Royal Rumble match at one time.
What was disappointing was when they made the jump to next-gen consoles, they immediately said, alright, you know what, we can't sell this game without big graphics. We need the big graphical upgrade. And with that, we're one step forward, two steps back in terms of getting enough people on the screen at one time.
Yeah.
We can't accurately depict any sort of crazy match stipulation like we'd like. Like, how about like a even a 2v2v2 can't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't work a triple threat tag rule. Like, I don't understand.
We can't do a fatal 4-way tag team match, but damn, look how good Goldust looks.
the sweat off of his paint is glistening.
Man, you can literally see the paint chipping away.
You know what game people love and still talk about to this day? The lovely graphical masterpiece that it was in Here Comes the Pain.
Love Here Comes the Pain.
People would fall off of Times Square building and, fall like a rag doll and get up immediately in 2 seconds. You know, that had, superb graphics. That was really what everybody was about.
Yeah, and I don't know if this goes for everyone, but I think for me and you, I would rather see a wrestling game have slightly worse graphics to have the content that I want to see.
Absolutely.
I want to see, an 8-person ladder. I want to do a 10-person Money in the Bank match. I don't want to be confined to the same matches every single year. And then even so, every single year, it seems like they take away matches. I feel like your pool gets smaller and smaller.
It does. Special referee got taken out,
which I loved.
Absolutely, that was the most fun. You'd have a friend over, you'd screw each other, it'd be a great time.
Yeah, fuck you, fast count.
And what really makes no sense to me, okay, a lot of these decisions are made because, I can't do it because you can't play it online, You figured out the special referee gimmick online in the last 2 games. Why don't we have it now?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm sure there's a whole bunch that goes into this that me and you won't ever be able to fathom, but it just seems like if you could do it in one game, why can't you do it in more? With technology quickly advancing, you'd think we'd be able to find a way.
Yeah, and the special referee, it's not even a thing. You swap out the skin of the referee with one of the characters, or you could just, if you want to, go place the whole wrestler in there, you give him the referee moves, he goes the 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's not that many controls to it. It can't be that hard.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
If they can put in you interfering in a match and being a manager in the My Career mode, I don't see why they can't make you a referee with basic abilities to count.
That's right. I almost forgot about that feature.
Yeah. Which again, I hated it. I thought I was so excited for it, and then I actually interfered, and I was like, "Oh, this is stupid."
Yeah, because it's what is that? You talk to the referee.
Yeah,
chair.
I want to get in the ring and fight people. I don't want to jump on the apron and interfere and oh, hey ref, look at me. The entire My Career mode seems like a big missed opportunity.
It needs something. And I understand they got to work on a lot of stuff in the game. It's a lot, you have a year scope to do it. That's why I continue to buy the game. But it's just got to be something better. You got to do something better.
They are improving. It is getting better, and I do see what they're doing, but it needs to happen quicker.
Absolutely.
Because there's not a lot of people that are like me and you that'll just keep putting money into it.
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
People back in the day, not knowing, the W pandering to, the legends of the day.
Sure.
What do you think of Vader shitting on the Will Ospreay Ricochet match?
I don't think he shit on it. I think he was, I don't know. I don't want to say he was confused because that's kind of, I don't know, disrespect, saying, oh, he's old, he's confused. But I think he saw, I don't think he watched the whole match, first of all. And second of all, I think, he saw a clip, and he saw, possibly he saw the clip where they did the springboard and they both kind of landed like Assassin's Creed style.
That was the exact thing I was about to say. I'm he probably saw the Matrix flip.
And he probably just saw that and was just like, oh my God.
Am I watching Cirque du Soleil or a wrestling match?
But I think if you, whether you're a novice wrestling fan or you're experienced, I think you could watch that match from start to end and say that they did their jobs and it wasn't, didn't come off as too funny. There was one part, I specifically took notes for this podcast. You're welcome.
Oh, cool. I didn't, so.
There was one. The only thing that it was okay. The the Assassin's Creed landing, all right, whatever. But and then I heard Will Ospreay call one spot.
Yeah.
Oh my god, blow up the world. You know what I mean?
But when you look at that match, like, I'm surprised you didn't hear more, and I'm surprised there were no botches.
That's true. There wasn't one single botch.
Like, that's the amazing part to me, is like, there were no botches. How in God's name was there not one botch? Like,
I know they were doing they did some corkscrew flips, springboard over the top that I've never seen before.
Yo, yeah, there were tons of stuff that I've never seen before.
Oh my god! I mean, I've been watching wrestling, forever, and I like to. Well, my big guy to go to for springboard moves is a ACH.
Oh yeah.
He's my go-to there, but I mean they were doing the ACH Air Jordan flip, and he put a 360 horizontal flip on it, and I'm just, oh my goodness, what is that?
Yeah,
I've never seen that.
And to go back to what Vader said about being confused, it just seems like he has this idea of what, and I don't know for sure, but it just seems like, he's part of that stigmatism that, like, oh, that's not what wrestling is. As long as it entertains you, who cares?
Well, I think he grew up in a different era, and this is so cliche. Oh my god.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But he grew up in a different era where everything was different. It was about the young guys come in, you stretch them, you give them hell. All right, you teach them to work the slow style, you put the big guys over, things like that.
And if a fan questions its authenticity, you punch him.
That's right. It's not a work.
When then you watch the Ricochet Will Ospreay match and you're like, wow, this is so awesome. Not believable to be a real fight, but it looks fantastic. And,
right.
But that's what wrestling is nowadays. Like, wrestlers don't try to tell you what we do is real. I'm an actual fighter. No, that's not what they do now. Wrestling's an art form, and I even saw a thing that Ricochet said, wrestling's an art form, and, I'm an artist, and what I do may not be what other people consider to be wrestling, but we all have different styles, and as long as what I do entertains the people who saw, then why does it matter?
Absolutely. First of all, that, absolutely. Second of all, you go back to the, he punches somebody for it being... for saying it's fake, does an actor call out before his movie? He's like, hey, this movie is legit.
Oh, okay? Thank you.
You don't believe what's happening on this movie? You're just, you're a stupid mark, and you think, whatever. Like, it makes zero sense.
Oh, I make that point all the time. Oh, you like wrestling? Wrestling's fake. How could you like something that's fake? Did you watch the new Star Wars movie? I did. Did you like it? I loved it. Okay, thank you. That's why I like professional wrestling.
Exactly. I would love if Luke Skywalker just broke the fourth wall and just, hey, this is legit what's happening right now. If you don't believe we're in space fighting, you know what I mean? Like, what are you doing with your life?
Mark Hamill just literally, as soon as the last Star Wars movie happened, he just disappears. And then he suddenly appears when the new movie comes out. I was literally on the planet. This is real. Like my beard?
Absolutely, right? And one point I wanted to make was that, let's say you believe that, okay? Let's say you believe, wrestling should be as legit as it possibly can be. If you think that Ricochet and Ospreay is killing the business, you must not have seen the Young Bucks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because if the Young Bucks didn't kill the business, Ricochet and Ospreay ain't gonna kill the business.
No. If the Super Kick Party didn't single-handedly murder wrestling, then Ricochet and Will Ospreay doing a Super Juniors Classic will not.
That's right.
Are you a Young Bucks fan?
Very much so.
Love the Young Bucks, and like it's so it's so weird. You talk to it seems like not new, but like a younger pro wrestling fan that like people like us who like watched it, saw all the eras, and choose to like the Young Bucks. It's like, we're one of those people that we understand wrestling's evolved, and we understand that there's different styles. And I feel like our generation are one of those fans that we're more willing to accept new wrestling of any kind, whether it be Lucha Underground, where they do all the cool stunts and it's all that big theatrical like movie, or then you go over and you watch WWE where it's like one big soap opera, or you go watch Progress or Evolve where it's more about the physical, like it's not so much storyline as it is more technician moves, and it says we like it all. And I think that's how the mindset people should have when they watch professional wrestling. You can like different styles and still like wrestling. You don't have to like certain things.
Absolutely, and I, like you said, we like all, Lucha Underground, Progress, WWE, you can like that soap opera or whatever, you know what I mean? But, and for example, I'm not a big fan of Chikara. I don't have anything against Chikara. I like I see, like, the Estonian Thunder Frog, and he hits the, the hammer in the ring and everybody jumps, I like that. That's cool, but I don't care much for the company. But do I think Chikara is, like, killing the business? No, I mean, it's its own thing, and you can appreciate every different company with every different style for what it is,
If Joey Ryan's penis move isn't killing professional wrestling, then Ricochet Will Ospreay isn't either.
That's right. We're gonna put that. That's gonna be our slogan.
So do you watch a lot of WWE?
Not late. I mean, I'm not gonna be like, I don't watch WWE. I'm not watching New Japan.
Fuck WWE and all that mainstream garbage.
Killing wrestling.
That's what's killing wrestling.
If you want to see somebody kill wrestling, watch Raw.
I mean, the WWE might be killing wrestlers, but they're not killing wrestling.
Oh man, too soon. They are getting banged up. Yeah, no, I keep up with Raw, and I watch the pay-per-views. Not much more. I see like if something, I didn't even know Main Event was still a show.
Yeah, right. It's that and Superstars.
And they were just tossing each other around. Sasha was selling like she got shot with a gun. You know what I mean? And, yeah, and I mean, Raw and pay-per-views, I guess, is the short response to that.
I agree 100%. I will probably not watch SmackDown until it goes live and they do the draft.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that was my favorite part. That was my personal favorite time of wrestling, is when they had the two brands. Everything was exclusive. That may be the unpopular opinion, but I loved it. Back when, you would tune on SmackDown to see Edge fight The Undertaker, and then go to Raw to see John Cena fight Randy. Like, I just liked how special, and, like, I felt like every single match on the cards were special. And that was my favorite time. And when they took the brand split away, I understood why, because they didn't really need it. They had a much more condensed talent pool. But I am so happy it's back.
Me too, personally. I mean, I don't know about anybody else. I'm a young guy. I grew up during like 03 SmackDown,
Yep, me too.
And that was my jam. You had on one brand you had like Triple H and Evolution wreaking havoc, and on the other brand you had Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar just tearing it up every night.
Yeah, the SmackDown 6.
The SmackDown 6, that's right. And you know what else I liked about SmackDown during that time, and WWE in general, the lower card guys got some focus.
Yeah.
And that really, I think, if done right, if people cared nowadays, which I don't know, even if you do, there's like 3 hours of Raw every week. I mean, I don't know what else you could do, but you just got to try to put some sort of focus on the lower guys. I mean, come on.
I also think that if SmackDown's going live and it's 2 hours and it's going to be their own separate thing, they need to make Raw 2 hours again.
For sure.
They won't.
They're not going to.
They're not going. They're not going to. No, but they should. Five hours of wrestling.
And then what is it? Like 8 on a pay-per-view week.
Yeah, exactly. Like 8 hours. That was the length of WrestleMania this year. Can you imagine adding an extra 5 to that?
Oh my gosh. That WrestleMania, I don't want to sidetrack, but that WrestleMania just destroyed my life. I was watching Raw and SmackDown every week before WrestleMania, and Shane lost. I said, well, damn, and all right, everybody lost that seemed like they should have won, and I know it's been said over and over again, but then the Triple H Roman Reigns match started, and it went like 30 minutes, and I just wanted to blow my brains out. I just can't take this anymore. And the next night on Raw, when nothing mattered and it didn't make any sense, I just said, well, screw it. I don't. You know what I mean? What difference does it make when storylines just hit a dead end and then you just...
Shane, The Undertaker beat you, but hey, you're going to GM Raw tonight.
Yeah.
And every single night. Because why? Because fuck our fans.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm guessing you weren't a big fan of this year's Mania?
Gotta say no.
I didn't mind it. I hated the main event. I'm not gonna say I loved the main event. No, the main event fucking sucked. But if you can take that away, I mean, I guess if you can, as much as you can, if you can take that away and look at the rest of the card as a whole, I didn't like that New Day lost, but I guess I see the point. You had to have the Legends come back.
Right.
And the only loss I had a huge problem with was AJ losing to Chris Jericho.
Yeah, it made no sense then. It makes no sense now.
No.
And here's the thing with the WrestleMania card. I'll make it as concise as I can, but it's clear to me that this is the route WWE has taken. It is not professional wrestling. It is a story with wrestling backing it. It's not the other way around. It's not wrestling with story backing it. It's story with wrestling backing it.
Yeah.
And WrestleMania isn't even a story. WrestleMania should be looked at in one scope, like the Super Bowl or something. Okay, now WrestleMania is just a thing. It's not a culmination of storylines. It's not a culmination of feuds. It's WrestleMania. And when you look at it as just that, cool, spectacle, legends, all right, sweet, But as a big blow-off pay-per-view, it was abysmal. I mean, I just can't imagine it. I don't know. I don't understand half the decisions they made.
Exactly. Like, WrestleMania should be when all of your storylines stop and then new stuff starts. Right. And that didn't happen.
That's for damn sure.
No. But I will say the match of the night was that women's match between Charlotte, Sasha, and Becky.
Oh, 100%. From the minute Becky Lynch came out to the minute Charlotte and Flair walked up the ramp, that was beautiful, beautiful.
And that's one good thing that WWE is doing, is they're putting more of a focus on their women wrestling, which I'm a big fan of. Yeah, I'm down.
Absolutely.
I just wish that they would go get some other women that I think would be better wrestlers than. I'm sorry to upset all the Alicia Fox fans out there, but I want to see Candice LeRae. I want to see Courtney Rush. I want to see Cheerleader Melissa. I don't want to see, Eva Marie ever.
The problem with that, well, number one, Eva Marie, my God, my Lord, why is that happening?
Why is she there?
Why is she even in existence on WWE? But number two, the thing is, if you bring a Candice LeRae into WWE, they're gonna strip her of what makes her cool.
That's true.
What makes her good. She'll still work and she'll still put on a good performance like she always does, but she's not gonna be what makes Candice LeRae good right now because they won't let her.
Yeah. Like the tag match between her, Joey Ryan, and then like the Young Bucks, when the Young Bucks kicked her with a spike foot shoe and her face started gushing blood. If that was a WWE match, kids would cry.
Oh my God! I mean, they barely let Jericho take a thumb attack bump at Extreme Rules. I mean,
which I was amazed that happened.
Very surprised. When they teased it about the fourth time, I was like, yeah, okay. We're not going to have a thumbtack.
Yeah, we're not going to have thumbtacks. If they didn't let the Dudleys set the table on fire, they're not going to do thumbtacks.
Exactly. I mean, somebody's going to puncture, get some sort of blood. I said, that's not happening,
And I especially didn't, if they were going to do it, I did not think it was going to be Jericho.
No,
I was like, if they do it, Dean's going through him, because it's Dean Ambrose. The dude's a fucking lunatic.
What does Jericho have to gain from taking a fucking thumbtack?
Exactly. This will help your career, kid. I'm Chris fucking Jericho. You stupid idiot.
You stupid idiot. He comes out on his, Fozzy tour, takes his shirt off, his back's all fucked up. You said, what the hell happened to him? Oh, he had to take that thumbtack bump in that 26-minute fucking asylum match.
He right before he took a mop to the face, he had to go.
And it's not like Dean Ambrose doesn't have a history of doing goddamn...
No, Dean Ambrose is a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, if he was going to do something with thumbtacks, it's got to be him. But nope, he didn't do it, which I was amazed by. Chris Jericho, he's got to pay his dues, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, you got to be on the come-up when you're a new star.
Yeah, I mean, he just debuted, what, a few months ago?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're a casual fan, you're like, who's this old guy in the jeggings? Who?
Yeah, why is he calling me a stupid idiot?
Yeah, he's a stupid idiot. Who is this guy?
Did you see the exchange between him and Owens and Del Rio?
Oh, when they were in the locker room, and Owens like, why don't you like me? I thought we were friends.
That whole thing was marvelous.
It was so funny.
Oh my god, when he was explaining that he invented the Money in the Bank, he goes, me, I did it, moi. He goes to Kevin Owens and says, that's French. He goes, I know. I died laughing. That was amazing.
Kevin Owens and Jericho are the two best heels in the business right now.
Absolutely.
Like, when they were doing not the last pay-per-view, when they were doing Payback, and Owens was on commentary just like ripping on, just shitting on Byron Saxton, I thought that was just so funny.
Oh my god. I mean, everything Owens does, it just turns to gold. He can't fail. I don't know, man.
And I hope to God he wins the Money in the Bank ladder match, because how funny would it be, you know, he comes out every week with the briefcase, gives it to the ref, and then says, just kidding, and then just doesn't cash in. Just trolls a cash in every week.
I would love that.
Goes down to the ring, and then just sits next to Byron Saxton and just shits on him during commentary, and then leaves again. Like, just... It would, that's French. It would be so funny, and that's easy to book right there. And then the day he finally does cash in, it's that much more special.
Oh, can you imagine? So, big title match blow off. Everybody's totally laid out in the ring. Kevin Owens casually strolls down the ramp.
Just takes his sweet time.
Yeah.
Everyone runs. Kevin Owens just walks. Takes him 10 minutes to get down there, and then slowly gets in the ring. Waves the ref on. Fans are going nuts. Casually waves the ref over. Says, "I'm cashing this in." Takes his sweet time. Doesn't rush the ref, and then just picks him up, and then hits him with the power bomb, and then pins him.
Exactly. It's so. Not only is it just so good, it's so easy.
Oh, yeah, it's so easy to book this stuff.
It's easier than anything, and they're just going to overcomplicate it to hell.
Oh, man. All right, well, we're talking about, wrestling, and, because obviously this is a wrestling podcast. If we were talking about anything else, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Who are your favorites? Like, if you had to pick, your top 5 favorite wrestlers of all time, who would you pick?
Alright, so you're definitely not putting me on the spot, because I had some time to think about this. So.
Yeah, no, I could. No, definitely give you some time.
Right. I don't want to break, kayfabe over here, but, I have a very strange top 5.
That's fine. I like strange top 5s.
Do you like strange top? The top 2 are pretty good, but the bottom 3 are kind of iffy, so we'll just go ahead here.
Alright.
Number 5, I'll put Scott Hall.
Okay.
Scott Hall, I just like Scott Hall. I think it's just a personal thing. I love the Razor Ramon. I love his, the NWO gimmick. I love it all. And I think he was underrated as a worker.
Do you like Fake Diesel? Or not Fake Diesel, Fake Razor?
Fake Diesel and Fake Razor? Oh my god, those were the days, huh?
But no, I agree with you. Scott Hall is in my opinion, one of the best, and I think him being in the Hall of Fame last year, whenever he got inducted, was long overdue.
For sure. Absolutely.
And him in the NWO in general. What an iconic move that was in wrestling.
Oh my god. I mean, business-wise, on-screen-wise, that was a ballsy big thing. And for Scott, to give Scott and Kevin the ball for that, you could tell that, these two guys can pull it off.
And then they went to TNA and had the best TNA run in the world.
Absolutely.
With Eric Young. Just
fucking fat, bloated Scott Hall that couldn't even walk. No offense to Scott, but you shouldn't be on fucking TV looking like that.
No, absolutely not.
Come on, man.
That's one of the things I hated about TNA, even still to this day. Like, oh, hey, you're not doing anything, former WWE guy. Come on the show.
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's... We could make a whole podcast about it.
Oh, absolutely. And who knows?
We'll save that for another day.
Yeah. I know. So we're talking about our top 5. My top 5 is another legend who, when he came to TNA, was kind of a fat, bloated loser. Mick Foley.
Mick Foley.
Love Mick Foley.
Absolutely. That's a good one. That's one. A lot of people would leave Foley out. Wouldn't think of Foley.
No, I was torn to making him higher. I'm a huge Mick Foley fan. I think he revolutionized the game. He showed that you don't have to be this Greek god, this Adonis motherfucker who bodybuilds to be successful. You just need to throw yourself off a cell. That's all you need to do.
That's all you need to do.
Lose your ear, and you'll be a star.
Yeah, that's right. He had the ability to get everybody plus himself over.
Oh yeah.
And that, if that's not a golden quality in a worker, I don't know what is.
He made everyone look just phenomenal.
Absolutely.
And it's just the things he put his body through and the sacrifices he made, like, just and alone, he should be in everyone's top 5 in my opinion.
I agree with that. I'm a little disappointed I didn't put him in now. I'm a little...
That's okay. Scott Hall, Mick Foley, they're one and the same.
That's true. That's true. Because not a lot of people think to put Scott in it, to be honest.
Exactly.
So I would believe that. Shall I go number 4?
Yeah, we'll do number 4.
All right. Jay Lethal.
Oh, Jay Lethal. All right.
That's my number 4.
Of all time.
People, see, Jay Lethal gets seriously underrated because of his time in TNA. And because, he's black machismo, oh my god, you know what I mean? But if you have witnessed his rise through Ring of Honor for the past, 3 or 4 years, he has it all. He has the ability to lead a company. He is leading Ring of Honor. I mean, you can say the Bullet Club is leading Ring of Honor, I suppose.
And if you're the world champion, you're leading the company.
That's right, absolutely. And Jay Lethal, I mean, he blows me away, man. I watch his match, and listen, you're not going to get a fucking Ricochet Ospreay match out of Jay Lethal, you know what I mean? But
in some people's opinions, that's a good thing.
That's true. Vader would probably like Jay Lethal.
Yeah, he'd probably love him.
Although he probably doesn't like the lethal injection.
I only like Jay Lethal when he looks like Randy Savage.
Yeah, I can see him saying that. But yeah, I think if you're looking for like an all-around package, I like Jay Lethal, man. I've never not liked anything I've ever seen him do.
Yeah, I agree. I think TNA dropped a fucking ball with Jay Lethal, and
so hard.
Yeah, I think any wrestling company that doesn't have Jay Lethal employed dropped a ball. Jay Lethal's awesome, and I agree. I don't know if I'd put him on my top 5 of all time, but it's not my list.
There you go. And I mean, and this is all time because this is assuming that he's going to go on to do even bigger, better things.
Exactly. Yeah, which I think is a safe thing to assume.
I'm enjoying him so much now. I think he's clouding my all-time judgment, but I put him on there regardless.
I mean, if you're gonna main event a World Culture professional wrestling show, then that calibers you to be in the top 5.
I agree wholeheartedly. Where's Noam Dar on the list?
Oh, I mean, he can be on yours.
He could be. Probably isn't.
Adam Blampier is on my top 5. So we'll do my number. Did I give you my 4? No, I didn't.
No.
My number 4 is Chris Jericho. Same thing I said earlier. One of the I think under Kevin Owens is the best heel in the company. First ever undisputed champ in history, 9-time IC champ. But even besides that, he just has a way to make you love him as a face and just despise him as a heel.
Yeah, absolutely.
From him coming out in jeggings and a scarf and a light bright jacket and then he's just an awesome talent. And I think that if you're gonna make a list, like a Mount Rushmore of some of the best wrestlers ever, I think you might need a little bit more than Mount Rushmore because I think there's more faces that should go on there. But I think Chris Jericho's definitely in the conversation of how he should go on there.
I 100% agree. I read Jericho's first 2 books, and I have so much respect for Jericho. He has worked so hard through his whole career, reinventing himself. Every wrestler works very hard, I'm sure. But, he has reinvented himself time and time again to make himself fresh. Took him a little while in this last run, but he ended up getting it. And, quite frankly, I just didn't think hard enough. I would have put Jericho on my list, but,
that's okay. I didn't give you that much time.
But I absolutely 100% agree. If he maybe should even be higher. I don't know.
Yeah, like I don't know. I listen to his podcast all the time too, so that's another reason why he's on that list too. And his time in New Japan. I don't know if you watched his New Japan stuff.
I haven't watched too much. I've seen a match here and there.
Yeah, his New Japan stuff was great. His ECW stuff was great. So
yep.
So let's do your 3.
Okay, my 3, and again, this is another current one, clouding my all-time judgment, but I don't care. I'm edgy.
Is it too dope?
It's gotta be. Johnny Cockstrong, actually.
Oh, well, silly me. What am I thinking?
I'm putting Finn Balor on there.
Okay.
And this is another one taking into account his future, because I mean, well, not only, okay, so you can look at his really early work and you could say, all right, yeah, he's a white bread guy, he doesn't do much, When he turned heel and formed the Bullet Club, and he would come out and his presence, everything about him just screamed star.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Everything, and not to mention his flawless in-ring work. That's a given at that rate.
If you're a founder of the biggest wrestling stable to ever hit the independents, you have a claim of being one of the best.
Absolutely.
Like, 'cause look at the Bullet Club now. Still huge.
Exactly. I'm surprised they've even kept it up this long.
I mean, Adam Cole, baby.
Oh, that's going to be great. That's going to be good stuff. But, I mean, yeah, Prince Devitt, and then when he came out with the paint at that Wrestle Kingdom show, and that was similar to like a Ricochet Ospreay thing where it got people talking.
Yeah.
They said, "Who's this Devitt guy? He's got this sweet paint on," and all he had to do was paint his face. But if he didn't have the work to back it up, I don't think people would have cared as much.
No, it's one thing to have a flashy character, but Finn Balor can back it up with his ring work too.
That's right.
And
now he's proving that he can reinvent himself with the Finn Balor gimmick.
And that's what is key in present day wrestling. Finn Balor gets that comparison. Oh, he's the demon. He's just like Kane. He's just like the Undertaker. First of all, if you say that, you have never seen Finn Balor, because Finn Balor is not Kane and the Undertaker. Wrestling's all about taking a thing that's been done 100 times and making it your own, and Finn Balor's doing that. He should never be compared to those two.
Perfect description. I couldn't have said it better.
Yeah. My third... I'm on 3, right?
Yep.
Alright. Now, I was really torn between these last 3. I'm going to go with 3 is going to be Daniel Bryan.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Sure.
If you've watched wrestling in the last 2 or 3 years, you'll know why he's there. But even before that, I followed Daniel Bryan back when he was in the Indies. The dude's been there. He's done everything. He's
absolutely
probably still one of the best. I am going to go on a limb and say the best in-ring technician in wrestling.
Fair, arguable, but fair point. I absolutely would say that as well.
Yeah, look, in his heyday, untouchable. And I'm a huge Daniel Bryan mark, just so we're all aware. But I feel like I'm in a huge club, so.
Yeah, I would agree. I would agree with that.
but even more than just his ability to work, the dude got over to the point to where few people have ever even dared to do. Like,
he's got such a likable charisma about him, and that's another thing. He can be heel, he can be face, he can do it all. But his personality and his star power, he's just got it.
Oh yeah, he's just like no matter what he's given, he turned the word yes into like a huge thing. Like, the 2 most popular catchphrases in professional wrestling are what and yes. Like, what? But like, Daniel Bryan, man, he took that simple phrase and made it just an entire. People do it at sports games. I went to a Detroit Tigers game because I'm from Michigan. I went to a Detroit Tigers game last week, and there was a yes chant going there. So it's just crazy how just big into pop culture that the yes chant is.
For sure. Unlike any other.
Yeah, and if he's not a Hall of Famer in the next 3 years, I'll be so upset.
Oh, I can't imagine that not happening.
I was going to say he should be a first ballot this year, but I think you got to give it to China.
I don't think they want to do China as the top ballot. I don't think they'd be willing to do that.
Well, then if that's the case, then Daniel Bryan should go in there. Fuck WWE.
Yeah.
No one else. Put him, and then you can build around that. But
there you go. We just have the class of 2017 be Daniel Bryan and China.
There you go. I'd say yes to it.
Would you co-sign on that one?
I'd co-sign on it. I'd give it the Top Rope Podcast stamp of approval.
All right. Shall I go to my number 2?
Yeah, we'll do 2.
All right. So we're getting less than the current guys now. We're getting more into the greatest all time there. I'm really upset I didn't put Jericho on the list. I'm sorry, Chris Jericho, if you happen to be listening to this.
So if you're listening to this, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Ric Flair, number 2.
Okay, he was almost on mine.
Ric Flair. I mean, what more can be said about Ric Flair that's never been said? I mean, he's He's, and this was one thing I liked about the Will Ospreay match. Will Ospreay in general. I love Ospreay selling. He gets kicked in the back. He goes, "Oh!" He goes, "Oh, motherfucker!" He's very, he's very verbal with his selling, and I think that's an underrated point of a worker these days. Is, make me feel like you're getting your ass kicked.
Yeah, even during the match when, right in the beginning, I remember this specifically, when Ricochet did, like, a simple, like, hand wrench. Like, something that's been done 100 times. Like, Ospreay, like, shook his hand, like big bug-eyed, like, holy did you think he'd, like, cut his hand off? Like, I was like, man, that was good selling. I think it was a little bit much for that specific move, but you made it look believable that it hurt.
I don't know if this is what was going for. I don't remember which arm. But if you saw the Kushida Will Ospreay match, that could be a callback to Kushida working over the arm. You could still, I don't know if he thought about it that much, but that could be credit where credit's due.
Knowing Will Ospreay, I wouldn't doubt it for him to just carry it over.
Because that would be some continuity never seen by the likes of WWE.
No, but that'd be awesome.
So Flair, he gets punched once, he's bleeding 5 liters of blood. He's like, oh God, oh Jesus, oh he's throwing me, he gets thrown around. And always, dirtiest player in the game, using every dirty trick in the book. You think of a heel wrestler, fundamentals, advanced, whatever you think Ric Flair.
Absolutely.
You see somebody do a heel tactic, you think he's doing a callback to Ric Flair, and similar to the Daniel Bryan thing, when anybody does a chop, what does everybody say?
Woo!
That's Ric Flair. You know what I mean? I certainly he's earned that number 2 spot on my very illustrious list here.
He was the first guy who would go into an arena and say, "I'm going to beat you up, and then I'm going to take your girlfriend." And you were like, "Fuck yeah, you are." Like, that's what I want you to. Like,
please.
Take my girlfriend, beat my ass, and take my dog too. Take them all. Like, my number 2, Edge.
Edge.
Yep.
That's a good one. I feel like he'd be left off the list for most people as well.
I am a huge Edge fan. He was my favorite wrestler for many, many, many years. He was one of the few wrestlers that during their retirement speech I teared up. I love Edge. And he, again, you might notice a trend. I like lots of bad guys. I like lots of heels. One of the greatest heels, like, he made you hate him.
Yeah.
His work with Vicky Guerrero, like, I literally was just like, man, fuck these guys. Like, he did such a good job. And then at the same time, like, he was just one of those guys like Mick Foley who would just throw his body off of a ladder and just... He gave so much for the business. Like, it's amazing his career didn't end sooner with all the fucking punishment his neck took.
I agree. And I think, like you said, like Mick Foley, I think, to a lesser extent than Mick Foley, but I feel like he was also another one of those guys that could get himself over, but also get the other guy over just as well.
Yeah.
I like Edge as a worker and as everything. I mean, the promo ability, the work rate, I think he really had it all.
I mean, his promo when he had sex with Lita in the ring made me uncomfortable. especially as a young kid at the time. I was a little put off by that. But
I was wondering how far they were going to go because I'm a kid or whatever, but I'm thinking they're not going to, like, literally, are they? Like,
this is a TV show.
This is not right,
But nope, they went through with it.
They went pretty far.
Yeah. Yeah, was it number 1?
All right, Kurt Angle.
Okay, I love Kurt Angle.
Kurt could do everything. He was a serious, from day one, he's serious, he's funny, back and forth, and he's done everything, and he pulls everything off with just the greatest of ease, like it was just nothing to him. You know what I mean? Nothing to the whole thing. He could pull everything off, and he's done just about damn well everything. He literally won every TNA title in one match.
Yeah. TNA booking.
yeah, really.
But again, he deserves it. Like, I was okay with it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, at the time you could feel like either of them could really him or Joe. Could
yeah.
Match.
Which was the best time TNA's ever had was that time period.
Basically.
2006 to like 2009, TNA's best.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. And I mean, Kurt, you know, he would have, you know, one day he'd be doing, you know, funny stuff, you know, joking around, haha, you know, milk, and you know, I would love when the crowd would chant "what" at him, and he would get, and my phone's ringing. That's really super like unprofessional, but that's fine.
That's okay. My cat ran across the computer earlier, so.
Oh, that's cool, man. But yeah, so Kurt would. Good. Is this phone gonna stop? We'll have to cut this out. That's fine. Kurt Angle, can you hear that?
Yeah, we'll edit it out.
We'll let it go. Everything's fine. Phone's over. We're good to go. Kurt Angle, he could, you know, he'd be doing funny things one day. The crowd would chant what. He'd get so frustrated. That would be the funniest thing.
Yeah.
He'd come out with the milk truck. He'd come out, you know, he'd do all this crazy stuff. And, you know, in 2003, like I said, he'd tear it up with Brock Lesnar. He'd be the most serious. That Team Angle era of Kurt Angle, that was just perfect A+ 5-star wrestling, in my opinion.
Oh, it was great. And, you know, a Kurt Angle memory that's really sticking out to me, and I don't know why this popped into my head, but the rap battle between him and John Cena.
Exactly.
Like... No, like he's like challenges him to a rap battle, and everyone's like, "What? Kurt Angle?" And then he just goes, and it's just the biggest, like, whitest, daddest rap in the world, and it was so funny.
and he could toe that line between I'm a serious tough guy that can kick your ass if you say anything about me. Between look at me, I'm kind of a goof. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
He's a goof. But how? I'd like to see you try to tell him that he's a goof.
Yeah, you know.
He'll beat your ass.
I want a gold medal with a broken freaking neck.
That's right, exactly. You know, only pro wrestler. You know, supposedly I haven't checked the stats or anything, but you know, with an Olympic gold medal. I mean, this man has done everything.
I heard he wanted to do UFC for a little bit too.
He did. I mean, I'm not a huge MMA mark, so I don't. You know, I wouldn't have been like, oh boy. You know,
Kurt Angle versus CM Punk.
We could get that match today. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, it'd probably be pretty well contested.
Oh yeah. Did you hear that he's supposed to fight Cody Rhodes?
Kurt Angle is?
Kurt Angle, yeah.
Probably when Cody's whole non-compete thing waivers.
Yeah, they announced. I don't remember when it was. It was some company, Northeast Wrestling, I suppose.
Nice.
Announced Kurt Angle and Cody Rhodes. I said, wow.
Did you?
I'll never get to see that because it won't be on. Won't be on any TV.
Did you hear that Cody Rhodes wants to do Bola?
That was on his list.
Yeah.
His list gimmick that he tweeted out. I would just die of happiness if he would do Bola or PWG or Ring of Honor or anything like that.
I don't know what I'd be more torn about for who I'd want to win Battle of Los Angeles, if Cody Rhodes does it or if Sandow does it.
I think I would want Cody Rhodes. First of all, I want Cody Rhodes to have some sort of big accomplishment.
Yeah, I want WWE to bring him back in like 5 years as like this guy who just was a martyr in like the independents, would just destroy everything.
Exactly.
Like kind of what they did for Doc Gallows now. Like, you know, they brought him back because, this guy's a star, and we dropped the ball. Like, I want Cody Rhodes to come back, debuting on WTV, co-holding the IWGP and the Ring of Honor titles, and be like, fuck you, WWE.
That's exactly, I couldn't have said it better myself. That's exactly how I would want Cody Rhodes, is he makes an even bigger name for himself due to his own work, his own deal, because they let him do what he needs to do.
Exactly.
And, then Vince comes knocking at the door, and he says, yeah, we'll see. If you give me the right work, maybe we'll do something.
I have a great idea. We're gonna have you come back as Stardust. What do you think of that, Cody? That's my wonderful Vince McMahon impression.
Spot on.
I thought so.
I thought maybe he would change it up after a while, and maybe he'd be like Starry the Clown or something.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Or because in WWE they'll just put him in a bunny suit. Star Bunny.
Star Bunny.
There you go.
Paint a big star on his head.
Have the Adam Rose Bunny. Put him in a tag team.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Well, Adam Rose is gone now.
Oh yeah, I hope he does nothing. Sorry for the Adam Rose fans out there. I despise him.
You don't have hopes similar to Sandow and Rhodes for Adam Rose.
Huh? No. Absolutely not. I've never been a fan of him. Even when he was Leo Kruger, I've never liked him. I don't know why. He's not a bad worker. I just am not a fan of him.
In the early Adam Rose days, I thought he had potential. I really did. I thought the character, lended itself to good promos, good gimmick, good backstage antics. You know what I mean? But then I felt whether it was heel chicanery due to the Rosebuds, or whether it was just him being a face ass kicker, I thought there was potential there, but they never gave it a chance.
The second he started calling people lemons, it lost it for me. Don't be a lemon. All right, I'm done.
All right. I mean, you start forcing catchphrases.
Exactly. That's my thing I despise, and I don't like when things are forced.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like Roman Reigns.
Yeah, man, I'm not forced.
Oh man, no, he's not a good forced person. He's the forced.
He's
person,
the forced. I'm not a good forced. I'm not a bad forced. I'm the forced, and you're a tater tot.
Oh man, what did he say? That was something succotash.
You're suffering succotash.
Succotash, son. Oh my god.
God.
Oh, that was...
The moment when Roman Reigns and Sheamus were the main event of Raw was when Raw was at its truly lowest point.
Sad. That was a sad day.
God, oh man. Well, let's brighten this up with our number ones. You already had yours, right? You were Kurt Angle.
We somehow got to Kurt Angle to Adam Rose.
What a tangent.
Yeah, so what's your number one?
My number one, the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels.
Oh, yeah, great pick.
Yep. I feel like you're either a Shawn Michaels fan or a Bret Hart fan, and I might get some slack for this, but I don't really like Bret Hart.
Oh, man.
Love Owen Hart. Really do.
Just to be clear,
I loved Owen Hart. And Bret Hart, I'm not saying he wasn't one of the greats. Huge great. I'm more of a Shawn Michaels fan. I would have been that guy during the screw job that would have been like, cool, Shawn Michaels won. Awesome. I'm okay with this.
I was never a huge Bret Hart fan until I started learning more about his career.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because as a kid and as you grow up, WWE, Shawn Michaels is God. You know what I mean? How dare you say anything about Shawn Michaels?
Mr. WrestleMania.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking pill junkie, drunk ass motherfucker. And listen, I'm gonna get so much fucking blast for that, but that's true. That's how it was, and that's how it was for most guys. But he was a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, one of the biggest backstage politicians, had probably ruined so many people's careers.
Yep, that's for damn sure. And I would find out, Bret Hart, he's one of the nicer guys. He's looking, for the best interest of everybody. But this isn't even like a personality thing. This is like a worker thing.
And that's what I based it on too. As a but best top 5 best personalities in wrestling, Shawn Michaels is not in the top 5. But as far as my favorite wrestler goes, it's Shawn Michaels.
Absolutely, but I would still say I'm still a fan of both of them, both of their work. But you could certainly, I think, just with the sample size. I mean, poor Bret, had an unfortunate WCW run with the getting kicked in the head and everything just went to hell.
He was on WCW.
Who would know?
Who would know?
Yeah, didn't he leave after the screw job and that was it?
Didn't Gilbert kick him? I think.
I think so.
Gilbert, yeah.
But so you look at Shawn's sample size, you can easily tell. But I think even if you had an equal sample size, I think you could still put Shawn over Bret.
Yeah.
Bret had the technical, the fundamentals down perfectly, 100%. He could do whatever you needed him to do. But I think Shawn
had that personality. He had the flair.
He did, exactly. He had a charisma that Bret Hart did not have.
Yeah, and if you're comparing Bret Hart to Shawn Michaels as the best technical wrestler, Bret Hart kicks his ass.
Right.
But for me, Shawn Michaels just has that personality. Like when he came out at WrestleMania this year, I lost my mind. I was like, fuck yeah, Shawn Michaels!
Yeah, absolutely. And, Shawn Michaels has shined in every given opportunity that he's been ever handed or taken.
Yeah. Handed, taken. What's the difference, really?
No difference in the World Wrestling Federation. But yeah, he's got, again, kind of like Daniel Bryan. He's got it.
Yeah.
These guys on the list, they have something that makes them it. And it's just this kind of intangible star quality charisma. Present. I'm gonna throw all the buzzwords out there. that star presence that you can almost feel. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Whether you're some fat guy jumping off a cell losing your ear, or you have a catchphrase that's yes, you have that thing that people remember you as.
Exactly. That's right.
And
Sean Spades, man.
And I'm a hardcore Shawn Michaels fan. If you remember, if you watched episode 1, we did top 5 best matches, and my favorite match of all time was Undertaker Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania.
That's right. That was a great match. I gotta say, I could not disagree with you on that.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. What's your favorite match of all time?
Favorite? Oh man, you are putting me on the spot.
No time to think of this one.
Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna go recent first, and then I'll go all time.
Okay.
Because I think this needs to be said. Kushida and Kyle O'Reilly for the first match they had last year at the Best of the Super Juniors. That match needs to be seen. If you don't watch New Japan, if you've only seen a little bit of Ring of Honor, you need to go out of your way to see that match. The match is perfect in every way. I mean, the in-ring work and the storytelling is just phenomenal. And you might get torn out. You're like, oh, they don't have that much charisma or whatever. Kyle O'Reilly is the best underdog. I'm still gonna kick your ass. He's the best next to Daniel Bryan. You know what I mean?
I agree.
Kushida, if you follow New Japan at any time, Kushida has just a complete connection with the fans, and they tell a brilliant masterpiece in the ring. I really do recommend that first match. Second match wasn't bad either, to be quite honest. But as for an all-time favorite match, I gotta say Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, WrestleMania 19. And the reason I say that, it's gotta be because I grew up during that time, and even with. But here's the thing, them two together was such great, beautiful work, and you put on the epicness of the WrestleMania, the grandeur, the spectacle of it all. And even when Brock missed the shooting star and fucking concussed himself all to hell, he got up and he somehow, just by pure Brock Lesnar reflexes, picks Angle up for a third F5 and gets the win. And even Angle was banged up in the match, and for two busted up guys that just poured their heart out into their heart and soul into that match, they really performed my favorite match.
Both of those matches, I agree, are awesome. Anything, like you said, with Kushida and is just great. Easily probably one of the best wrestlers on the planet right now.
For sure.
And Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, I agree. That's probably one of my favorite WrestleMania main events. It was a main event, right?
Which one?
Brock Angle.
Yeah, that was a main event.
Yeah, that was a main event. One of my favorite WrestleMania main events ever, also. So I agree, and a lot of good matches. And you have a match coming up in less than 24 hours too, don't you?
I do. In about less than 24 hours. That's right. Me and Curb Stomp, we start the big war.
Oh man, yeah. You guys had a little bit of a promo battle on your channel, and if you haven't checked those out yet, you should. But I'm gonna give you another opportunity to give some closing thoughts to Curb Stomp City.
Well, let me start out. I'll say Curb Stomp City is an absolutely worthy opponent. One of the best out there in terms of TEW on YouTube. But I'm 370 Gaming, and since we didn't do the first name reveal, Connor would be my name. Connor is I
was gonna save it last.
I was gonna save it for the last thing, but I just figured I'll just blow it out here.
Right.
This Connor, this 370, whatever you like to call him, he's gonna go out there. He's gonna talk in third person. He's gonna go out there and he's gonna put on a hell of a war with this Curb Stomp City fellow, and may the best man win. All
right. So, if you are listening to this and you want to see an epic main event, and I ain't talking Triple H, Roman Reigns, oh no. No, I'm talking Shawn Michaels versus Undertaker. I'm talking Brock Lesnar, Kurt Angle. I'm talking Sami Zayn versus Cesaro at the first NXT ever on the network. I'm talking classic. Then you tune in to 370 Gaming and Curb Stomp City in less than 24 hours, at 6 a.m. to be exact, to watch them go to war. And 370, Connor, I just want to say thanks for so much for doing this podcast with me. It really means a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, man. I hope we can do it again sometime.
Absolutely. If the fans don't despise this, we can totally do it again. If you like this video, obviously, like it, leave a comment for what you want to see. I'm doing this because I know it's going to be on your YouTube channel.
For sure.
And if you're one of my people who don't know who 370 is, or for that matter, Curb Stomp City, I'll give him some love too because he's great also. Like them both, subscribe to them. Watch their stuff. It's awesome. And keep listening to Top Rope Podcast, the greatest wrestling podcast to ever be recorded on 370 Gaming. Have a great one, guys.